Okay, good evening, my Rabbi. Maharal Shiur Parshas Tazria-Metzora. And for those of you who, Be'ezus Hashem, are going to be making a siyum on Masechtas Makos, this also covers the siyum. We're going to learn a shtikalev from Kabbalah Satira as well as from Masechtas Makos. Dorish Rev Simloi Sheish Meyois V'Shloish Esrei Mitzvahs Namaloi LaMoshe. 613 commandments were said to Moshe Rabbeinu. Shloish Me'ez Shishim Chamesh Lavim Keminyan U'Maisa Chama. 365 Keminyan Yemois HaChama, like the days of the year. There are 365 Keminyan Yemois HaChama. Even though our calendar is comprised of 12 lunar months, which are 354 days, Mitzad Levoneh, aber Klal Yisrael keeps also this Minyan Yemois HaChama. And for the Yemois HaChama, there's another Loisase. As though every day, Zokt Altase, tunisht, don't do this. Every day is another don't do. Keminyan Yemois HaChama. Matayim ve'arba'im ve'shmoine keneged eivarav shel Adam. Rashi, Zal Pirsha B'chol Eivarav Ya'aseh HaMitzvahs. Every Eiver corresponds to a mitzvah. With each Eiver you should do a mitzvah. V'shasa mitzvahs lo yisaz kemin yemois hachama shebekol yom v'yom oimer al taseh aveira. Zoy zok to Rashi. Every day says don't do an aveira. Every part of your body says do a mitzvah. Avol kosher. Comes the Maharal and he asks the following question: Lama ein mitzvahs lo taseh kemisbah eivarav shel avarav. Why shouldn't there be the loisasas like the avarim of a person? And the mitzvah say, Ki Yemois HaChama, Kol Yom Taseh Mitzvah. Why should be Kol Yom Al Taseh Aveira? Adarabba, like we just said in Tzara Shimshon, be positivi, right? Go ahead, and you have the dog, another opportunity, another hizdamnut, right? Why is it? It is shlili. Lama ze shlili. Why is it like that? Says the Maharal, ma pitom. Right? Why should it be that way? Hafuch. Lama ein mitzvahs lo taseh kemin yevav shel Adam. Shlo yasa aveira. B'chol eivarav. Every eiver al taseh aveira. Every eiver sheva'od kama aveira sein ba'odam do lo shaykh l'masiyas klal. That's what he asks. The Maharal has two mahalchim, and he speaks about it in two different places. This is in Chedusha Agodes. If you,
so how many loisas?
There are 365. Can I get a day of the year? That's why I said. Yeah, yeah.
So if you would have, so you would have connected the vara, that'll be less than 365.
That's right.
So you're saying we should have less loisas?
Yeah, that's right.
I like that idea.
Yeah. Right? Do more.
Then you'll have more on sex.
Do more. Okay, he's a doer. He's Meir's a doer. Badminton Meir. If you look at your other page, just flip it over. We'll have time to do one of the mahalchim. I want to do this one tonight. Da. Top of the page, it's over there. Page Yud Ches. It's in Tiferes Yisrael, Perek Revi. Da. Ki rotza Hashem Yisbarach lezakes es ha'odam. The Eibishter wanted that a person should have the schus sheyitkne hanitzchius. He should be zoicha to acquire eternity. Nitzchius. Al yidei mitzvahs hu'elekis. I evsher sheyikne oisai rak al yidei shnei minei mitzvahs. There are two ways, there are two chalakim, there are two parts for a person to be able to be mekabel nitzchius. Chelak ha'echad hu shelo yeh meshane etz mitziusoi asher nivra olav. Ki im mishanes mitzuyosoi asher nivra olav harayesh le'shinoi ma shu roi le'mitzias ha'odam v'yovei hefsed le'mitzuyosoi. Ani asbir. I'll explain. When the Eibishter created man, and he placed him in Gan Eden, must be he was shaykh to Gan Eden. Zot omeret, HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to Adam HaRishon, Mikol eitz hagan to'achal. Eat what you want. Eat what you want. Don't eat me'etz shebe'emtza hagan al to'chal. Right? Ki beyoyim acholcha mois tomus. That means that if he wouldn't have eaten, he wouldn't have died. So he was created already mitukan. You know what mitukan means? He was already created in the tzura that the Eibishter want him to be created. Rakma, one thing, don't mess up. Al tekalkel. The Gemara in Makkos, today's Gemara. Does somebody want to bring out a Masechtas Makkos over here? I'm sure there's got to be. I know where there is on the top over there. The Mishnah Daf Chav Gimel, today's Daf says, if a person Chas v'Shalom does an Aveira, obviously he ruins something. But if a person holds back, Toda Rabbah, if a person holds back, v'oimer, asher yaso adam v'chai bem, kol hayoyshev, v'loy over Aveira. A person holds back, and he doesn't do an Aveira. Noisam loischar ka'oisem mitzvah. Not doing an Aveira, you get schar like doing a mitzvah. Nishnor dem. Reb Shimon Rabbi Yomer. Harei Yomer rach chazak bilti acholat adam. Don't eat the blood. Chazak. Umay im adam shenafshe shel adam kodsa mimenu. A person normally would not yach blood. Hapayrish menu mekabel schar gezel va'arayot shenafshe shel adam mis'avu lehem umachman doson, and he has a chemda for it. Hapayrish mehem, listen, he's zoicha loy v'ledoyroisav v'ledorois doyroisav ad sof kol adorot. A person who's lochem, he fights. I always say over Reb Shlomo Cheshen, Zechreinu Levracha. Reb Shlomo Cheshen used to say, happened, the guy called me yesterday, Mamish. Yotzeh ma'misrad, he goes out of the office, sees a woman. She's not dressed beseder. He lo beseder. The first look is an oinus. You didn't ask for it.
You said this before.
Of course.
When he turns around.
The first look is not. The first look is a nisayin. The second look, or if a person says, "I didn't finish looking yet," that's the problem. That's the problem, and that's where we have our nisayin. That's mamish the nisayin. So it's a person. Everybody has nisayinus. It could be a 60-year-old man with a beard. You still have nisayinus. And a person says, "Ich kik nicht. I'm not looking." Mekabel schar, and you're zoicha loy v'ledoyroisa v'ledoyroisa v'atzav kol adoyros. So you see, Meir Rabbi say, you see that the koyach, the mitzias of a person is such that the koyach hara wants to destroy us. And we have to push back. And when we push back from the koyach hara, be'etzem mishtelen zich havek, we're establishing ourselves in the tzura mitukenet, in the correct way, the way we were created lechatchila. Because lechatchila we were created pure. We were created good. When Klal Yisrael got to Har Sinai, vayichen sham Yisrael neged ahar, says Rashi, quoting the Gemara, ki ish echad belev echad. All of the efforts of Klal Yisrael together. It says in Chazal, Atem kruyim Adam. Zot omeret, the original Adam that was yoytze from the Eibishter. Ha Adam Harishon lifnei achet. That Adam was created in a tzura which the Eibishter created him. It means the Eibishter created him, he was mitukan, v'chai lo'olam. But he messed up. When Klal Yisrael gets back to Har Sinai, and it says in the Gemara Shabbos, Kufnun Vov, that Poskazu Amosam, you know what it says? Atem Kriyim Adam. You got back to the original Adam collectively. And I'll tell you something, this Adam is bigger than Yena Adam. Because Yena Adam was one person. Kolel all of the neshamas. This is all the neshamas mischabrim together. They were on the madrega of a malach. They got such a madrega, they said Nasav and Ishma. They extended themselves so high, so mitukin, so fixed up, that they're already on zoicha to such a madrega. As what? That they're considered unified, as one.
So why don't we look forever now? I mean, why
because they did the egel. That's right. That's right. But state by this Edyom, they took away their crowns. What happened to all the crowns? State in the Gemara Shabbos, Moshe Rabbeinu took them, and he's holding it for us. He's holding the crowns.
Which crowns? What are you?
Yismach Moshe b'matnas chelkoi. All the crowns of Nasav and Nishma that Klal Yisrael was awarded at Har Sinai, which they were crowned Mamleches Kahanim v'Goy Kodesh. There was such a madrega that Moshe Rabbeinu, when they lost their crowns, they forfeited them. So where'd they go? Moshe came with a big bag, took all of the crowns, and Haltis. He's holding it. He's asid lachzir lanu. He's going to give it back to us. Because the madrega we got, but we slipped. But we didn't lose it legamri. Says the Maharal. So this darg of Tzuras Adam, this mitzias of Adam, that's right. One part of it is ki im mishanes mitziyus asher nivra olav. If a person changes his mitzius from what he was created, if he changes that mitzius, im mishan mitzius masher nivra olav, hari yeshinui ma shuroy le mitzius adam v'yove hefsed mitziyosai. So he's ruining his essence. Ve'elo mitzvahs lo yisas, shekol mitzvahs heim shelo yetzeh adam min mashu royal mitzvosai, kibilas iser vegezel vegnev v'kol yetzeh behem. Being able to sustain the tzuras adam the way the tzuras adam was meant to be, to sustain the tzuras adam and not let the negativity get to you and push back. I'm not going to look at that. You know, you have a great business deal, you have a great opportunity. I don't have to say the whole truth. That, and a person really wants to do that. But he fights back, and he's yashar. So he's zoicha to something nitzchias. That's the loshon of the Mishnah. He's mezaka loy means he connected to his neshama shenasata b'tahirahi. He's zoicha to connect to nitzchias mamash. He's zoicha to that nitzchias. His mischaber zu sich zu sein eigene nitzchias. That's one part. Now that we sinned, we need, the Zohar HaKadosh calls mitzvahs asay eitzes of how we can connect ourselves back to the Eibishter. Why is it, the Maharal asked, that you have to have positive commandments 248, not positive commandments 365, the days of the year? Because it's the Tzuras Adam that you're building. It's the man the way he was meant to be created. So the positive commandments are there to reconnect every chelik of the guf to the neshama. The neshama, so to speak, when it connects to the guf, has 248 points of connection. There are 248 points of connection between Guf and Neshama. Keminyan Tzuras Ha'adam. And therefore the Tzuras Ha'adam needs to be connected. Says the Zera Shimshon somewhere else. We spoke about it once. But some mitzvahs are Kohanim. Some mitzvahs are Leviim. Some mitzvahs are for men. And some mitzvahs are Davka for women. That's the Soid Odom. Zusammen ein Mensch. Zusammen ein Mensch. You're right. You can't do it all. But the Tzura HaMushlemet, like we're saying, is one guf, one unit. Gans Klal Yisrael combined together, Ki'ish Echad, B'leiv Echad. And that's one of the Seidos of Arvus, that Jews are Kol Yisrael Arevim Zelozeh. Your mitzvah is my Hashlama. My mitzvah is your Hashlama. We're in it, we're on the same team. So when you're doing good, then the Tzuras Adam is healthy, the ganze Tzuras Adam is healthy. We're not individuals. Not Kol Yisraelim. Kol Yisrael. The ganze Tzuras Ha'adam of Yisrael connects to the Eibishter in Yene Tzuras Ha'adam that was the Tzura HaMushlemes. And right, every single person has a chelek, etvos ma'chayiv Adam loime b'shvili nivra oilam, which means that I have a role in Yene Tzuras Ha'adam that without me doing my job, without you doing your job, without every one of us doing our job, to be mashlim Yenim Tzuras Ha'adam, atem kruyim Adam. Yes. So therefore, the Loisa says is the world that we live in, the Metzias Ha'olam. The Metzias Ha'olam we're soon going to see. The Metzias Ha'olam. What's that?
I'm saying, but the assays connect to the parts of the body.
Because the assays are building the person. Right. And the Loisa is because don't let the Koiches Hara, don't let the negativity take you down. Meaning, there's the world, the Olam Hagashmi, the world that you're in. There's a pretty girl out there. You're gonna when you're gonna drive, you're gonna see her. Don't look at her. Keep your eyes on the road.
So that brings you up also.
Avada brings you up. It's Mezaki, but it's Mezaki by Derech Loisase. The Bria of the world that we're in, the opportunity to do Gezela, the opportunity to speak Lashon Hara, the opportunity to do everything in this world, which is anti-Ruchani. It's anti-ruchnias. So you have a loisase. You have a loisase to keep you back. So you shouldn't ruin that chelek ha'adam. Ratzah Kadosh Baruch Hu lezakas as Yisrael. He wanted to be mezakas. So He gave us an opportunity that every single part of our body we should be able to be mashlimit with asay and preserve it and not be over and a loisase.
Asay is also mal of the person, no?
That's exactly what it does.
Just like the loisase, the same level.
Loisase by not doing and asay by doing. But in the asay you're buying the guf. In the loisas, you're not letting the guf be destroyed, not letting it be decayed. So you need the asay to buy in the guf, and you need the loisas to make sure that an outside force shouldn't kalyamachen, shouldn't ruin it.
Let's say also builds also, no?
It builds when you fight the Yetzer Hara, like the Mishnah says in Makis. When a person has Yena Chemda to do an Aveira, on a Halzach Tzarik, right? So he's making the person, he's giving more koyach to his neshama. Correct? But and that's why there's shasagidim also, right? There's a certain chizuk that happens to the tzuras ha'adam. But this Gemara doesn't focus on that. This Gemara focuses on the days of the year. Why? Because a person is expected to be aggressive for them. And like it says in Chazal, Ein chodosh tachas hashemesh. Aber Klal Yisrael, you're l'mayla min hashemesh. The Maharal brings down that when Rabbi came to measure the graves, the Gemara in Baba Basra. So he wanted to go see Adam Arishon. The Eibishter says you can't see him. B'diyukni, you can't look at. Ro shnei akvoisav, he saw his two heels. Do you remember what the Gemara says? kigalgal chama. The lowest part of the Adam is bigger than the sun. The sun is noch weniger wie ein Mensch. The sun is two heels. The akev is the Seifa Adam. Und jenes Seifa Adam, the Mensch fangt sich an where the sun, which is the highest part, the melech of the world, von dort, that's the heels of a person. The mitzvahs asay, steht in Rabbi Chaim Volozhiner, in Nefesh HaChaim. When a person does a mitzvah asay, he's surrounded by a koyach of Gan Eden. It comes an or hamakif, an or which is much greater than the or of the sun. And he's in that or hamakif when b'shas asiyas ha-mitzvah. Kishegoymes ha-mitzvah, says Rabbi Chaim Volozhiner says it in two places. He says in the beginning the introduction to Ruach HaChaim in Perkei Avos, and he says it in Shar Aleph in Nefesh HaChaim. Kishegoymes ha-mitzvah, oisoy or, that or is gonuz for oilam haba. Yena or is asach gresser vid or achama. That's the or of mitzvahs asay. The loisasses, which are below him, are keneged galgal achama. They want to schlep him down. They want to schlep him down. So he, when he's misgaber over every day of the year, that every day is a nocha loisasa, means as gresser. That's what the Maharal says over here. Okay, Rabbi, so we ran out of time. But you'll see, you have the handout, you'll see that's the sugya. The sugya is the original tzuras ha'adam was the Eibishter gemacht. Jene tzuras ha'adam is the tzura ha'adam hamushlemes. Und when Klal Yisrael is gekommen, when we came, it doch gewesen, ki ish echad belev echad atem kuyim adam. You must zurückgekommen zu jene adam. Yena Odom HaMushlemes versus Yetziras Kapov, and if there wouldn't have been Choyte Becheto Egel, what gewinnt Chaylom gleich hereingegangen in Eretz Yisrael, gleich gebeut the Bais Medrash. Bais Medrash would have been destroyed because they got to it. That's what you say every Yom Shlishi. Ani amarti elekim atem ubnei elyon kulchem ochen ka'odom tamuson. Gemacht derselbe mistake that Odom HaRishon made. Das war keilig gemacht. Okay, Rabbi, say. Schissa, you're going to later.